How you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me for my reaction, like I'm surprised or anything, to Clemson and the Pittsburgh game. Clemson Tigers win the ball game. I had to look down here, 52-17. Trevor Lawrence is back. We know Florida State's off, claiming. I'll get to that in just a second, but congratulations to the Tigers. They go 8-1, 8-1, 8-1. May there to you. Like a G6, like a G6, yo. May there to all of you, bunch of people getting in here. May there to all of you. It's good to see you, good to see you. I've been out and about. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I have not been on here in a while. There's been people... They've been conspiracy theory. Can I tell you what I like? I do believe conspiracy theories because every time it goes, did you hear that, William? That moron believes that conspiracy theory ends up being true. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead here right now. It ends up being true because they know that moron's going to be so educated he'll fall for it. No, I just had so much going on, I haven't been able to be on here. But see a bunch of you in here. I'm going to log on. For anybody watching in the future, this is a live stream. I know I got this light a little too close to me. I look too angelic, I look like I should be coming down. I decree to thee where the Son of God is being born. Just don't tell Herod. May there to all of you. Thank you so much for everybody coming in here. I'm typing. I hope that doesn't hurt your little heart. I'm typing right here. I can't type like 9,000 words per minute. Lord. Somebody asked me, do you have COVID? I did, but I don't anymore. You know how empowering it is to be able to walk through a grocery store with no mask on, and they're like, oh no, he's going to kill us! He's going to kill us! And like you're the most normal person there. It's actually kind of interesting. I know I just pissed off somebody, but such is 2020. May there to all of you, bunch of getting in here. I'm serious. I'm trying to get into YouTube, and for some reason, I'm either typing wrong or something's wrong. Oh, here we go. Give me another 20 seconds. Clemson looked good tonight. Immediately 31-0, 31-3, somewhere in there. It was a big deal. It was a really, really big deal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I know y'all are going to think I'm greedy. You're going to step back and you're going to go, whatever that means. I am just going to tell you right now that when it got to 31-3, and then everything stopped, I got ticked off. And you see Trevor, he's still in the game. You still see the ability for him to get hurt. I'm sitting there like, hey, get him out of there! This is an engaged man! No, I really don't care about that part, but I'm just saying I was sitting there, it was fun to yell at the TV screen. It was just one of those deals where I'm like, oh no, here we go. All right, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to say may there to a bunch of you as fast as I possibly can. All right. Very first one in here, Jordan Bowman. May there to you. My wife got me a glass of white wine. Now listen, I know some of you are sitting there going, Bobby Dirkens drinks white wine. Got alcohol in it? Yes. Guilty as charged. Jordan Bowman, Sergeant Killer 23, Boise State Broncos, CU Tiger Girl 95. Timothy Jefferson, may there too, Tiger Paul Craven. Virginia Capital Coasters, Boise State Broncos, Tiger Raven, may there to you. And Tiger Nation was one of my first ones who even showed up here. May there to you. But that's he don't live too far from me now. Let me see. Bo Weevil. Hey there. Oh, Bo Weevil. Amanda Morton. Chase Henderson, my buddy. I was actually just on the phone with Chase Henderson. Chase Henderson, actually has my phone number. He calls me. He is kind enough to put up with the craziness that is. And by the way, there's 36 people in here and only 11 thumbs up. Am I sucking that bad? Should I give up? No, I need counseling. Number one Alabama fan, may there to you. Y'all beat the crap out of them today. We all knew it was going to happen. SEC dog. Let me tell you about SEC dog. SEC dog comes in and talks mad trash, and I love every flipping second of it. Glad he's here. He loves his Georgia Bulldogs, and he should just as much as I love my Clemson Tigers. And we take shots at each other, and it is fun. It is fun. Billy Rhodes, may I tell you. Adam Hilt. Imagine being a Clemson fan, you bandwagons. Okay. Like I've never heard that before. Virginia Capital. My old buddy in here. Let me see. It got ahead of me. It's hard. Clemson Carson. Let me see a few more. Chris at Clemson. First will be back in the win column. May there to you. The real McCoy. Jordan. May there to you. Good to see you. A bunch of you in here. All right. If I missed you, y'all please forgive me. Please forgive me. Clemson comes out. Trevor Lawrence back in the game. We know what happened last week. I'm definitely going to talk about that in just a second. Can't help. Clemson comes out. They do what they do. Travis Etienne comes out there and does his thing. Trevor Lawrence shows why he is what he is. Amari Rogers playing a fantastic game. But, listen to me, Cornell Powell. Now, I want to stop right here and say this. I don't blame young men for transferring out when they feel like their talents can be used somewhere else. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. So if some of you do, there's a fine line to follow. I will tell you, I don't blame guys who have the ability to come out there and play, transfer somewhere else where they feel like their talents can be best used. Because at the end of the day, you and I both know that human beings being involved in anything can be a good and a bad thing. What I mean by that is recruiters can lie just as much as anybody else. Players can get into a system and they realize all of a sudden, even though I love the facilities, even though I enjoy the atmosphere, it's not the right fit for me. Well, unfortunately, that does happen. But in that world, Cornell Powell stayed at Clemson. And we see a maniac of a football player. A maniac of a football player. All right? Craziness. Cornell Powell comes out. He's been playing his brains out. He looks like a man. I'll tell you right now, and Clemson Carson, you're right. You know, Clemson Carson said he's been hard on Powell. But he's proven him wrong. Here's the thing. When you have all that talent around you, it is easy to get lost in the mix. I was telling this to Chase Henderson when I was on the call with him tonight. Tyler Davis has got lost in the mix of all the great players that we've had at Clemson on the defensive line. He really has. But you saw when he was out what happened. I'm just telling you, you saw what happened. But we got a few more weeks before that Notre Dame rematch in Charlotte, North Carolina, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody who's geographically, it's a new word I learned, challenged, Charlotte's not even closer, but way closer to Clemson than any team in the ACC. Just telling you. You go ahead and put that down. But anyway, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this just a little more. It was a good. We'll talk about the game, and then I'm gonna get into Florida State. I know I haven't done. I know I'm behind, but I'm telling y'all, I have so much crap been going on this past couple of weeks, and most of you have too. So, normally when you turn your camera on, you get on here and you talk, and everybody thinks they have it all together. I want to tell you that out of everybody who's out there watching, who's on this stream right now, there's 45 people on this stream. I can promise you that out of the 45 on this stream, I have it the least together of all of you. Unless you have physical relations with squirrels. Then I have it more than you. God, Lord help you. But anyway, about that time a 46th one joined, so God knows what happened there. But my point in all of this is I know I'm behind, but I'm going to get to Florida State in just a second and just have a little fun. All right? So let's talk about Clemson. Let's talk about what they got to do. We know Clemson's going to win out. We know that unless something bad really happens. I'm going to tell you, I was really excited for this game. Really excited about this game. And I'm going to tell you why. The intensity to be up, 31-0 in the first quarter? It reminded me of every game after the Pittsburgh loss in 2016. It really excited, seriously, it really excited me. I remember where I was when Clemson lost to Pittsburgh. And between you and I, now everybody looking back, this is what they remember. They remember that throw to Renfro from Watson to beat Alabama. That's what they remember. What I like to call the drive-by Clemson fan or the drive-by college football fan. You do not remember that year we almost lost to NC State, Troy, and one more team if I can remember right off the top of my head. So it wasn't, even though we had Deshaun Watson, and we had Mike Williams, and we had Hunter Renfro, and we had this guy and that guy. I'm just being honest with you. Just being honest in here. That year was underwhelming and it was very scary. And when we lost to Pittsburgh that year, in my head I went, we're done. We're done. We're done. And if anybody who's being honest with themselves, they'll go, yeah, I may not want to admit it, but we were done. All right? It is what it is. It is. It's just like walking in on your grandparents rekindling the fire, if you know what I mean. We're done. I don't want to see that mess, that wrinkly mess. Oh my God, Lord. But anyway, after that game, Clemson just became one of the most possessed teams in college football. Today looks a lot like that. Kind of excites me. I've talked about the hunger of Clemson. Now, I know if anybody else watches this and they talk about me, they go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But you know what hunger looks like in really any category, whether you're talking about business, whether you're talking about just actually hungry, you want to eat something, or definitely football teams. The truth is, a team who is hungry will do whatever it takes to win the ball game. I've said that for many, many years, and it is what it is. Whether you believe it, whether you disagree with it, that's fine. I'm right, you're wrong. And that's one of the very few things that I would say that with. I'm just telling you, Clemson had an edge today that they have not had in the past, 3 or 4 weeks. They have to continue to have that edge. They have to. Or let me tell you, though we have the best quarterback in the country, though I believe we have the best running back in the country, though we have some great players and I believe the best coaching staff in the country, we will not win the national championship. You heard it here first, folks. November the 28th. If we do not pull everything together get playing good fundamental football and taking advantage of all the opportunities, we will win the national championship. On the other hand, if we use the talent that we have, we use the coaching staff that we have, guess what happens? We win the national championship hands down. There's no question. So, let's talk about Florida State. Okay, all right. Timeline for any of you who is like 20 years old. You're about 20 years old. You're born like year 2000, somewhere in that area. I want to go ahead and tell you, as a Clemson fan, what happened to it? I have a stroke. I shouldn't do that, but I have family members who's had a stroke, and I've seen what it's did to them. Not making fun of them. I'm just saying what happened to me there. Send me some gum. I'll chew it. Keep my face straight. But my point is, if you were born somewhere around 2000, you don't really know how Florida State used to beat the crap out of Clemson. The majority of the time. So for some of you young Clemson fans who's out there going, Martavius, I kind of feel sorry for Florida State and how underwhelming their team is. Don't feel sorry for them. They used to beat the crap out of us, and they beat the crap out of anybody they possibly could. They didn't have any really good competition, and then Clemson came along. And then they had that 1 year with Jameis, the I love lobster, crab legs, Winston. Tallahassee covered up for every stupid thing he ever did. Jameis Winston. And he came along, they beat the crap out of Clemson in Death Valley. Worst home loss, from what I can remember, they've ever had. But since then, Clemson has pretty much royally spanked their butt. And you know it, and I know it. Okay? Clemson has royally spanked, really on them, especially over the past few years. Just throwing that out there. Really made them look bad. We get to last week. Clemson flies down to Tallahassee, which, by the way, if you've ever flown on a plane, that's really not that long of a flight. It's really not that long of a flight. You wouldn't want to drive there in a car, but it wouldn't be bad. You could definitely do it in a day from Clemson to Tallahassee. It would be a boring drive once you got past Atlanta. But you would go down there, South Georgia, you get into Tallahassee, and you'd call it a day. You get down there, we know what happened. Mike Norvell looks at his boys, and he goes, listen, during all these protests last year, I quickly realized that I'm not even the head coach of the team. Marvin Wilson is. Marvin Wilson and a few of these other guys on this team that sucks now. They're living off the shell of the past of Clemson or of Florida State being really, really good. They told me I didn't respond the way I needed to, and now y'all control the team because y'all wouldn't practice for me. Which, by the way, Florida State, we can tell y'all didn't practice whatsoever. Y'all look like dog crap. I mean, y'all look like if my grandma emptied out her colonoscopy bag. Y'all look just like that. That's what you look like. So we know, Florida State, that your head coach, your brand new, spanking new, got the new baby smell head coach, doesn't even control your team. It's one of your players, who, by the way, is probably losing millions by the week by y'all's team sucking so bad. But he's not even a football player anymore. He's head coach. He's going to sit out and not play. Oh my God. I'm just saying. Then we fly down there. We just lost a football game to Notre Dame. All right? Fly down there to play y'all. And then the morning of, you go, hey, Norval, we're going to get the crap beat out of us because they're mad. Oh, COVID-19. Say COVID-19, because if you say COVID-19 and anybody disagrees with you, you're automatically a Nazi. Okay, we'll do it, coach. COVID-19. And then Dabo goes, something ain't right here. We followed the same. By the way, let me go ahead and tell you this. I'm not going to name the person because that would be betraying them. But I promise you, and if you don't believe me, that's fine. You can go away. But what I'm telling you is the truth, and you can believe it or you can discount it. I have a family member who knows somebody not only in the Clemson football organization, but as close as you can get to Dabo Swinney as you can get, who told them, we followed every protocol. As soon as that player was sick, we figured it out. They were in the back of a police car. And they were on their way to be flown back to Clemson. And Florida State still come up and said, oh, is that what you've come to, Florida State? Is that what you've come up to? Using COVID-19? That's like FedEx. FedEx would tell you, due to COVID-19, we're no longer... What was your excuse, FedEx, in 2019 when you couldn't deliver to the right place? What? What? What was your excuse in 2018? Was it the butthole virus? Where was it? Here's my point to you. Florida State, you're pathetic now. And gee, Bama boy, I'm reading your statement. Florida State may cancel every May. Let me tell you what they do. All they have to do is say, we're canceling the game due to COVID-19 and the CDC and the WHO and the Beatles and Journey and Queen and Led Zeppelin. And if you listen to me, if you put them down, then you're a bad guy. Well, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I ain't trying to be some pseudo crazy guy. I'm just gonna tell you right now, Florida State, I think you pathetic, and I think you used the disease that's been going on right now to cover up that not only is your team scared of getting their tail whipped and having another losing season, I think your team is already disarray that they don't follow their head coach. If I was Mike Norvell, as soon as Marvin Wilson folded his arms and went, I'm not playing, I would have quit. Period. I would have quit immediately. I said, you don't tell me how to run my team. Get lost, you bunch of you team of losers. That's all you've done for the past 2 or 3 years is lose. And SEC dog, I agree with you. Norvell shouldn't opt out. I would have stayed at Memphis and been a god up there instead of went down there and been a dumpster fire at Florida State. Florida State, you look ridiculous. You're not the Florida State that I grew up with. The team that had the greatness of Deion Sanders and the Charlie Wards and the Warwick Dunns and the Peter Warwicks and all the great players. No, you are, let me tell you what you are. You are the team You are the team now that steps back and looks at a defensive lineman and says, what does he say? Because I think he's going to get picked high in the draft. We ain't going to practice anymore, Marvin? Hey, Marvin, we ain't going to practice anymore? Okay, Marvin. Forgot who your head coach is. Marvin Woodson ain't your head coach. By the way, you look awful. You look absolutely awful. Now listen to me. You can pick on me what I look like and how I talk and where I'm from and blah, 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 blah. But Florida State, go look at your record. You look like crap. You look awful. You can go blame COVID for this year. What'd you have to blame it on last year? Huh? Can't hear it. Year before that? Year before that? Jimbo and his poor shadow beard. Well, folks, listen. I'm tired. I'm not actually tired. I'm just gonna let you go. I got stuff to do tonight. Gonna go watch a few football games. I want to check this South Carolina Georgia score. Some of you's on here. I might get on here later on tonight and just dig it. Hopefully South Carolina loses, but quite honestly, if they beat Georgia, it'd be funny. But from what I understand, Georgia is hammering them. Before I go, Parker Henderson. By the way, Bobby, I forgot to tell you I got married last week. Happy wedding to you. Happy funny time to you. Happy sexy time to Parker and his wife, who I don't know her name, but I imagine she's a sweet person who you really like. Happy marriage to you. Not too much. Need a little more oxygen and alcohol. Congratulations to you, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, everybody. Before you go, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications if you don't know. By the way, Eric McCartney's on here. Eric McCartney on here. Let me tell you about Eric McCartney. Eric McCartney is a friend of mine. Wild as a bobcat. Wild. He's got a group on here. He does this really good thing. He has a store called The Sawmill Shop. The Sawmill Shop. He's made me some great signs and stuff. Go check out his page, The Sawmill Shop. Just put it in Google. You'll find him. Find him on Instagram. He's a friend of Ole Bobby Dirkens, and he's made me some great signs. He is wild as all get out, like a bobcat on cocaine. But anyway, and he is a wild one. But go check out his store. Eric, I'm glad you're on here. I hope you washed your hands after you peed tonight. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification. It's dangling around over there. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like a 9-month-old. It's set, dropped. It's right there. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I don't care if I cancel the whole dang thing. I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens. I just broke wind.